Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Joey, and in today's video I will be discussing something that is very personal to me, and that is my struggle with acne. Now, you might be wondering or questioning because in this camera it looks really good and really nice, or maybe you're thinking no it doesn't, but I'm here because I just feel like I can answer a lot of questions and I can be some help to maybe somebody who is going through the same issues that I was going through or that I had before. I started getting my first breakouts when I was about 15 years old, and I believe that was when I started high school. And it just started, you know, normal puberty breakouts, and I had a little bit of concerns, but I mean, it seemed like a lot of people in school were getting them, and it was just, first it started around my forehead area, and it was a little bit on my upper lip and down here on the chin. Now, I did go and see a doctor about that, and he was not too concerned, so we left it at that, and we just kind of continued and moved on. Whenever I started to get a little older during high school, I was about 17, 18 years old when I actually started realizing that now this was becoming an issue, and it was becoming something that I was insecure about and I did not want to deal with. So then I went to my doctor again, and this was not a dermatologist, he was just my GP, and he prescribed me two things. One was a topical gel called Clindamycin, and I'll put a picture of it up here, and it was just twice a day. It was a clear gel, and I would just apply it to any spots that I had, but in fact I was getting so bad, it was all over my face that I put it everywhere. So I would do like a mask at night and during the day as well. And it would dry up, and that was it. And it didn't smell bad, it was just nice and clear gel. And he paired it off with Tetracycline, which is a drug that is used to kill bacteria and kill germs, and it was on very low dose. And for the first couple of months, it actually helped. I'm not gonna say that it worked because nothing ever worked until I got to the end, but it kind of helped. It minimized the breakouts. The redness was still there, but the breakouts were minimized, and I could kind of deal with it. And of course it was exciting to me because I had seen a difference, so I was like, okay, great, this works, this helps, I'll stick with it. After about 6 months, though, it stopped working and my breakouts just continued to get worse. Now, by this point, I was graduating high school and moving on to university where I studied in New York. The first thing that I did was get a GP and talk to my GP about my issues. The same thing, he put me on Tetracycline, a little bit of a higher dose, but it actually started reacting not so well to me. My stomach was hurting. I remember I would take it in the morning and I would get on the subway and it would be very hard for me to keep it down. I wanted to throw up. It was very tough medicine, and it got to the point where I just didn't want to take it anymore. And I said, okay, enough. I'm not going to do this. So I let it go and I just kind of lived with it for a little bit. I noticed that I could control it kind of with my diet. I became a vegetarian. I ate almost no dairy, cheese, but just every so often. But other than that, no dairy. I had no chocolates. I had no fried foods. I had no pizza. I had a very strict diet. And it helped, kind of. It would flare up, of course, but it wasn't crazy. If I ate pizza, I would see it instantly. Which, you know, a lot of people speculate that acne is not dietary. In my case, if I ate pizza, if I ate chocolate, if I ate oils, then I would instantly see it. Now, I don't know about you guys or your experience, but that is how it was for me. When it got really bad was 1 year after graduating university, which is when I was, I would say 21 or 22 years old is when it got so bad. I'm gonna put a picture right here, which I'm so not proud of, but who cares? And you can see I was completely covered, and it was that point that I said, okay, now I need to do something. So I had really good health insurance through my job because I was working at the city of New York, luckily, so I could just go to any dermatologist without a referral, and that's what I did. Instantly, she was like, yes, this is an issue, so we're gonna try and resolve it. The first thing she did was prescribe to me 3 different things, 2 of which were topical creams. One was called Epiduo, I'll put a picture here. The other one was different, and I'll put a picture of it right here. And the last thing was a pill that was similar to Tetracycline. I think it's almost the same drug, I'm not sure, but it's called Doxycycline. The drug that I was a brand, and it was a brand new one that was like time release, or it would expand the release or something. So it was a brand called Dorax. Now you guys, these were so expensive, but luckily I had such great insurance. The Doxycycline for 1 month was $500, which is about 420 euros, and that was just for the pills. Now, the Epiduo and the Differin were equally as expensive. I think about $200 each. Luckily, I had insurance because I would not have been able to cover it myself. But that actually really helped. That instantly took the redness down, it took the bumps down, and it just made me feel so much better. The problem with that though was that Doxycycline was such a strong medicine, I could not continue doing it anymore. It was insane. I would take it, and for the first like 2 months, it was a struggle. It would burn my stomach because it had to be on an empty stomach. I would want to throw up. It was really bad. I couldn't be exposed to the sun. It was crazy. And after about 2 months, I started throwing up. I called my doctor and she was like, okay, we gotta stop this. Once I left the Dorax and the Doxycycline, then it was over for me. It came back and it was just over. I started talking to my dermatologist and we talked about Accutane, and she took me through all of these questionnaires, and I had to sign away about how I was going to commit to taking blood every month so they could check my liver. Now this drug is crazy. If you don't know about it, it's it just resizes all of your oil glands. And so we took blood and I signed the paperwork and it was all good to go. I was ready, I was excited, and I took the prescription to the pharmacy and they said that my insurance wouldn't cover it, so the price was going to be pretty hefty. And it was so hefty that I was not able to afford it, so I did not go through with it at that point. But it was in my goal that I was going to try and get it somehow. Fast forward to about a year ago when I moved to the Netherlands, and I mean, their health insurance, you guys, is incredible. It is beyond words. I don't have words to explain it. It's just amazing. As soon as I got my Dutch health insurance, I went to my GP. My GP took a look. I told him everything that I had been through, all the medication I had taken. He instantly said, let's refer you to the dermatologist. And here you go to the hospital. That's where the dermatology office is. So I went to the hospital and the doctor within literally 10 minutes was like, okay, great. Have you heard of, in the Netherlands, it's called Roaccutane. In the States, we call it Accutane. So he said, have you heard of Accutane? I said, absolutely, I want it. Please, what do we do? He's like, okay, great. I'm gonna write you a prescription that same day, the first day. He's like, I'm gonna write you a prescription. We're gonna start you on 20 milligrams a day. You're gonna go right after this and get your blood drawn. And that is it. If there are any issues with your blood, I'm gonna give you a call in a week and we will call it off. If I don't call you, you proceed. And that is what happened. That same day, I was on it and I was ready to go. After about the first month, I went back to the dermatologist. I had an appointment every month to go into the hospital, get my blood drawn, and just get checked in to see how it was. And after the first month, my dermatologist said, okay, great, we're gonna put you on 30 milligrams. They were hiring my dose little by little so that my body could get used to it, because you guys, it is a shock to your body. So I got on 30 milligrams for the second month. Now, I started in November. Now, we were in month December. By January, I was up to 40 milligrams, and that is when it all just kind of happened for me. I'm gonna show you pictures here of when I started, and I'll show you pictures, of course, of like throughout my course of treatment. But when I was up to 40 milligrams, my lips were chapped to the point where they would break and they would peel and they would bleed. My skin was drier than ever. Even if I used lotion, as soon as the lotion dried, again I would have flaky skin. And the redness, I would have raccoon eyes because it was red all over. The worst side effects that I had were my back pain. I'm a sports instructor, and when it first started, I was like, oh my god, did I sleep wrong? What happened? But my back was so painful that I was like, whoa, okay, I might need to do something about this. I had really bad, I don't want to say depression because I don't want to minimize what depression actually is, but I had a very deep low. Yeah, so my mood was very low, my energy was very low. I'm a very energetic guy. I've never felt depression. I've never I've never been through any lows, so I really don't know what it was like, but I can tell you for sure that was a low. I remember it was New Year's Day and I just started crying because I just could not see a point to anything anymore. I was like, I turned to my boyfriend while we were driving to celebrate New Year's with his family, and I cried to him and I said, wow, this is really crazy. I do not see a point to anything. I just do not know what I'm doing. I don't feel good. I don't feel myself. I get agitated very quickly. I get angry really quickly. And of course, he felt it as well, and he was here and he said, I just support you. Just know that I loved you before the medicine. It wasn't important for me that you did this, but it's important for me that you feel good. But that's when I really noticed, and that's when I first thought about maybe stopping with the medicine. I went about a month thinking, okay, maybe I should quit. Maybe this is too much for me. And of course, my boyfriend was like, take the dose down. But I'm very stubborn. I was like, I want to get this over with as quick as possible. I would rather have higher side effects and a shorter amount of time than expand it, taking a pill every day. I was so completely over it. And I said, I'm gonna change my mindset. I'm gonna change my perspective. And I'm gonna see if I can just focus over it. And I did that. I meditated a little bit. I really listened to a lot of podcasts about motivation, and that kind of helped. And then my nosebleed started. My nose was so dry. My body was so dry. I was getting flaky skin everywhere. My arms, I was getting these like eczema patches. At night, I would bleed. If I touched my nose the wrong way, bam, it would start to bleed. So it was sleepless nights where I would try and stop the bleeding, and it would take forever for it to stop. And I just was so tired. I was so down, and it was winter, it was cold, and I was like, why am I doing this? I just ended up deciding that acne was something that I wanted gone, and acne was something that was going to affect me just not for a year, but for a long time of my life. So I decided to stick with it and just get it done, and that is what I did. It was at the end of July when I had my final box. The results were unbelievable, you guys. If you can see it here, I have some scarring, of course some minor redness, but I'm only done like 2 weeks. But I am beyond excited about it. I really have never felt so positive about my skin. People have told me, oh my god, your skin is glowing. What are you doing? That is a big thanks to my dermatologist here, Dr. Cairo, who was like amazing and always there to answer my questions. And I'm American girl. We're not like Europeans up in here. We call the doctors every second. Now, if you're wondering about the cost, in the Netherlands, we have a 375 own risk on top of what you pay for your health insurance, which is about 100 a month. Each month, 40 milligrams a day was 80 euros, $100. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any concerns, of course, see your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give you any advice. But if you want to know how I went through my struggle, or if you have any questions or things that you're dealing with, leave a comment below. Let me know. Send me a message. Find me on Instagram. Send me a personal message. I'll be happy to answer any questions because I have been through it, honey. I went through every medicine possible to get my clear skin, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe, click on my face down below, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.